You know, I was just thinking there's something rather lovely about Friday evenings, isn't there? The whole working week is behind us, the whole weekend in front of us. It's a time for the home, for the family, for what is known as, togetherness.
Oh, I won't be here.
You won't?
Nor will I.
Well, bang goes the togetherness. Tell me, why won't you be here?
Weekends are our chance to relax.
Yeah, well, you should relax. Everybody should relax. I know I should relax. Because I have never known a week like it. Never. Never. Haven't you, Dad? No. Tell us about it. All right, I will.
Oh, all right, Dad. What's been so bad about your week? Is it your new boss?
New boss? That man is a slave driver.
Oh, I thought you liked him.
Oh, for the first couple of weeks, we got along all right, but he's got his knife into me now. He's changed. He doesn't call me Harry anymore. Come in, Mr. Matthews. Go out, Mr. Matthews. Do this, Mr. Matthews. Do that, Mr. Matthews.
Here's one thing for sure, Dad.
Yeah.
He knows your name.
We knew where we were with the old boss, but this man, he's got a very peculiar way.
What sort of peculiar?
Well, now, take this promotion that's coming up.
Are you going to be promoted? Because if you are, can I have a new dress?
No, you can't, because I'm not. There are 4 men up for this job, and you ought to see them. They're broken men, Shirley, broken men.
What's he done to them?
He's broken them. Any other manager would have them in the office, interview them, make a decision, but not this man. You know what? Guess what Mr. Withers does?
Takes bribes?
All 4 of them, you see, he rings them up.
On the phone?
No, on the bongo drum. Of course, on the phone. And he invites himself to supper.
What a nerve. Well, he needn't bother ringing here.
Oh, he won't ring here. I'm not one of his possibles. I'm not one of his poor broken men.
Well, I think you should be.
He does find me useful at times. He called me in the other day. He wanted me to decipher a letter. I was the only one who could do it.
Why?
I wrote the letter. Apparently there was some confusion over my A's and my E's.
Needs his eyes testing.
No, not Mrs. Withers. She noticed the A's and E's.
What was she there for?
Yeah, well, you see, Mrs. Withers, she examines everybody's handwriting. She's an expert, is Mrs. Withers. And Mr. Withers, he listens to every word she says.
Oh, is he henpecked?
No, I wouldn't say he's henpecked. He tells us what she says and what he does, and he wouldn't do a thing without asking her first. Yes, you're right, he's henpecked.
Well, you're the boss here, Dad.
Yes, I am, aren't I? I mean, if I were to ask one of you two to get up and get my slippers, I'd have to get up and get them myself. There's the phone. Shall I answer it? Yes, Dad! Martin, would you be kind enough to pour me a drink?
Sure.
I think you should stay in this weekend, Martin.
Why?
Well, Dad's a bit down. You could cheer him up.
What's wrong with you cheering him up?
I'm going out. Pour me a drink.
Don't be silly.
I can have sherry.
Who said so?
Dad said so.
When?
Last Christmas.
Hey, Dad, did you tell Shirley she could have... Dad?
Did you pour that drink?
Yes.
Pour me another.
What's wrong with that one?
It's empty.
Was that call for me?
No.
For me?
No.
But who was it for?
Well, I do live here. You know, I live here.
Yes, but you never get called.
No, I don't. I could have managed without that one. It's ruined my weekend. It's ruined your weekend as well.
Why? Who was it?
Mr. Herbert Withers.
Does he?
My boss.
Your boss? Fancy ringing you on a Friday night. Why couldn't it wait until Monday morning?
Monday morning would have been too late.
What for?
Supper here tomorrow night.
But
You're looking at the 5th broken man. Cheers. It's empty.
Hey, these sound fantastic.
what do you?
Well, there's duckling à l'orange, bœuf bourguignon, or coq au vin. Now, which can you cook?
Cook? I can't even say them.
Good morning, all. My word, that's wonderful. What have you decided?
We haven't.
At this rate, we never will.
No, that's not the attitude. This is a challenge. What is the problem?
Oh, Dad, what are we going to give them for dinner?
Yes, that is a problem.
We haven't a clue.
You're wrong, Shirley. We have a whole list of clues.
Where from?
I was talking to Mr. Waddington, where the Withers went on Wednesday.
Well, what did Mrs. Waddington give them?
What did Mrs. Waddington not give us? She prepared a meal. It took her 2 hours to get ready, put it on the table. Mrs. Withers wouldn't look at it.
Why? What was it?
I made a list of them. Just listen. To start with, they had escargot, snails.
There.
When it comes to snails, I agree with Mrs. Withers. Then they had paella. I don't agree or disagree. I don't know what it is. And for pudding, for pudding, they had black forest jatter.
Oh, that's my favourite. Now, why didn't she want that?
Because it's foreign. You see, Mrs. Withers doesn't like anything foreign, which reminds me, we must get some new placemats.
Oh, we don't need any. We've got a whole set.
Ah, but they've all got views of Venice, you see. We must have English food of English mats.
We don't want china plates.
I'll thump you.
Oh, but both of you, look, what am I going to give them for dinner?
Something simple and traditional.
Pie and chips?
Roast beef of old England.
I can't do Yorkshire pudding.
You can't do Yorkshire. Our mother was born in Barnsley.
My roast potatoes are a bit hit and miss.
Oh, look, let's do first things first. What are we going to kick off with, eh?
Tin soup. I
No.
can do tin soup.
No, not tin soup. Make an effort, you know, homemade soup.
Well, they'll think it is. I'll burn it a bit.
Oh, honestly, Shirley, how old are you?
16.
16 and can't cook.
Martin,
Well, honestly, Dad, she can't do Yorkshire pudding. It'll be tin soup, hit and miss potatoes, and if I said ground coffee, she'd burst into tears.
ground coffee. Why did you want to criticize her cooking?
I wanted to get a reaction.
Well, you got one. Is it the one you had in mind?
Not really. I'm sorry, Dad.
That's quite all right, but you should be, because it'll be 2 hours before we get down those stairs.
Well, is there anything I can do?
Yes, you can hoover, dust, and you can lay the table. And if you happen to run into Shirley, grovel.
Where are you going?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going. I'm going to rob a bank. If I'm successful, I'll buy a piece of beef.
Thank you. Next.
Thank you.
Oh, morning, Mr. Matthews.
Morning, Mr. Tennyson.
Your usual, I suppose. Shoulder of lamb, Bert.
No, Bert, not today, Bert. Today I'll have a shoulder of beef. I bet that surprised you.
It did. There's no such cut.
Oh, come on, you're pulling my leg.
No, I'm not.
May I interpose?
Ah, Mrs. Simpkin.
He doesn't mean shoulder, and you don't mean beef.
Oh, I do mean beef, yes.
No, please, please, allow me to know best.
Yeah, but you don't understand the situation, you see. I'm having my boss and his wife to dinner tonight. I'm up for promotion.
Oh, well then take my advice.
Yes, gladly. What shall I have?
Piece of beef.
I wish I thought of that.
You did?
I thought so. I'll have a shoulder of beef.
No, make it sirloin, Mr. Tennyson, boned and rolled.
Oh, that sounds absolutely wonderful. What a relief to get that settled.
Mr. Matthews,
No, Mrs. Willoughby.
you don't want sirloin.
I don't.
Have a nice piece of topside. You can't go wrong with a nice piece of topside.
What if you can't go wrong with top?
Topside can be very tough.
Not if it's properly cooked,
Not if it's properly cooked. Forget the top side.
So we're back to the sirloin.
which can be very chewy.
Not with a first-class cook.
Not with the forget the sirloin.
Pardon me for asking, but who's cooking this little feast?
Oh, Shirley.
Oh,
Well, there's no one else, is there? I'm sure she'll do her very best.
My heart goes out to him.
so does mine.
Well, mine doesn't. Is it topside or sirloin?
Somebody can help you out.
No, I don't think. Oh, yes, I think there is.
Who?
Well, the lady at number 23, she said, if you ever want any help, all you've got to do is ask.
There now.
Yeah.
I always say there's one good neighbour in every street.
There's two in ours.
Is there really? Well, there's a lady at number 23. I wonder oh, you're very kind. Napkins. Do we want them like that, or do we want them like, wait a minute, we haven't got any table napkins.
Oh, yes, we have. She sent Martin out to buy some.
This dinner's costing me a fortune. I had to write a cheque to get the beef.
Well, never mind, Dad. When you get this promotion.
I won't get promotion, Mr. Shirley, no. I'm not management material.
That's what Mrs. Simpkins said.
Did she? What did you say?
Well, I agree with her. You don't disagree with Mrs. Simpkins.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Well, anyway, bishop's hats or water lilies?
Well, let me think. I'm doing what management do. I'm thinking, I am coming to a decision. I've made a decision. Water lilies.
I've made bishop's hat.
Just what I wanted.
Dad, you said you wanted...
I know what I said. Couldn't you be doing something? Do something.
Yes, there is. There's a sink full of dishes.
Oh, I'll tell Martin. Martin!
Oh, it's a pity about this room.
What's wrong with it? Got carpets, curtains, wallpaper.
Maybe it's that picture.
Yeah, I know you'll find something if you look long enough. Look, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take it down for you. Will that make you happy? Now... think I'd better put it back up again. There we are.
Perhaps your bulb's too bright.
Yeah, perhaps it is.
You got any candles?
Yes, I bought 100 the day they settled the power strike. That's a good idea, though, candles. It introduces a lovely, quiet atmosphere. And if there's anything wrong with the cooking, I'll put a smaller bulb in.
Well, I've done all I can.
And I'm very grateful to you.
Now it's up to you.
Up to me.
Yes, up to you. After all, it's you they've come to check on, isn't it? It's your social graces they're here to assess.
I don't stand a chance. Do I?
No, you don't. Never mind. Go down fighting. Tell you what.
What?
Concentrate on her. Charm her. Flatter her. Tell her how lovely she looks.
Have you ever met Mrs. Withers?
It doesn't matter if she looks like the back of a bus.
Oh, you have met Mrs. Withers?
Mr. Matthews, I am Mrs. Withers. Greet me.
Welcome. Would you like a crisp?
Oh,
Well, doesn't she like crisp?
she likes compliments.
Oh, I see.
Well, do I look lovely or do I not?
Very bright light.
That's ruined my appetite. Well, take me to my place.
Well, you only live across the road.
My place at the table. I'm Mrs. Withers, am I not?
Oh, of course, I understand. Welcome, Mrs. Withers. My word, you look lovely. You remind me of Joan Crawford in Scarface, or was that Paul Mooney? And that dress, oh, it's absolute. You didn't get that with green shield stamps. Allow me, Mrs. Withers, if I may I accompany you to your chair? There, please. Would you be kind enough to sit well there?
What time are they coming, Dad?
8 for 7:30.
You mean 7:30 for 8?
Do I? Is that sooner or later?
It's in about 15 minutes' time.
15 minutes? Is that all the time we've got?
To do what?
To worry, Martin, to worry. Where's Shirley?
She's changing her dress.
Again?
You've changed your suit 3 times.
Don't touch those crisps.
Why not?
But you will spoil the arrangement.
But one doesn't arrange crisps.
One does when one has sat on them. I could have indeed. Oh, dear, oh.
How do I look?
You look lovely. Cigarettes?
What about them?
We want cigarettes. We haven't got any.
You don't smoke.
Ah, but they may.
Yeah, but they might want to play the trombone, Dad.
It's very unfortunate if they do, because we haven't got one. Scrabble?
Oh, now what?
Well, they might want to play Scrabble after dinner.
Dad, you're not making sense.
I know I'm not, mate. What time is it now?
Well, I make it just about... They're here. They're early.
Yes. And what is more, they're at the back door. It's my fault. I should have put a light in the porch.
Dad, you can't take them through the kitchen. It's in a terrible mess.
Don't worry about that. Their feet won't touch the ground. Mrs. Withers, come in. My word, you look absolutely beautiful. Mrs. Simpkins.
Mr. Matthews, they're here.
Yes, yes. Where are they?
They're coming up the front path. I thought I'd better warn you so that you can assume a calm you do not feel.
I'm calm. I'm quite calm. You're lovely. Thank you very much.
Dad, there's someone at the front now.
I know.
Who's at the back?
Mrs. Simpkins to tell me that they're at the front. Are we ready? Yes, we're ready. Right, now. Good evening, Mrs. Withers. Do come in. Didn't Mr. Withers come with you?
Herbert? We thought you were out.
I know it's silly, isn't it? We thought you were round the back.
Round the back. We're not tradespersons, Mr. Matthews. Oh, I'm a guest.
No, allow me to introduce you. This is my son, Martin, and my daughter, Shirley.
One wonders where they got their looks. In now?
Yes, please.
Come along, Herbert.
Can I get you anything else, Mrs. Withers?
Thank you. But no.
Oh, you've not enjoyed your meal?
No, I didn't say that.
No, it's just that I
You
thought...
mean you did enjoy it?
No, Mrs. Withers didn't say that either. Mr. Withers, would you like a little something?
Well, the potatoes were very nice. We don't often have potatoes.
Have a few more. They're not very expensive.
What do you think, Violet?
I really think you must decide that for yourself, Herbert.
Oh, I think you should have.
No more from Mr. Withers.
What about Sprout? Is he allowed Sprout?
Two.
I think you'll find there's some very big ones at the bottom.
None. Sylvia.
Pardon?
I'd like a word with Sylvia.
Well, if you know her number, we have a phone in the...
I think she means me, Dad.
Oh,
Well, I don't mean Malcolm, do I, dear?
Malcolm.
I think she means me now, Dad.
Well, of course I mean you.
Well, of course she means you. May I point out that my son's name is Martin, my daughter's name is Shirley, but we can have them changed.
You should have said before.
But I did say, when you came in, I said, this is my son Martin, my daughter Shirley.
Strange, we didn't hear you.
Oh, I did, Violet. I heard.
Then why didn't you tell me?
Well, perhaps you didn't know you hadn't heard. I know I didn't know you hadn't heard.
So, that's definite, is it? Shirley and Martin.
That's right. And Harry.
Mr. Matthews. Right.
Shall I fetch the pudding?
Well, I don't think Mr. Withers has finished his sirloin.
That meat was never sold as sirloin.
Oh, yes, bone to roast.
Well, I'm here to tell you, Mr. Matthews, that was brisket. Perfectly acceptable, but brisket.
I enjoyed it.
Well, I'm glad you did, because it was sirloin. I'm sorry, but it was.
Oh, well, it's obvious, isn't it? I can't hear and I can't taste.
You could get treatment.
What was that?
But I finished it, whatever it was.
Brisket.
Sirloin.
Well, shall I fetch the pudding then?
Thank you.
None for me.
Oh, you must. It's apple pie.
Then none for Mr. Withers either. Bradley's, bring him out.
No, dear, it's bananas bring me out.
There you are then.
Martin, would you be kind enough to get the coffee?
Sure, Dad. Excuse me, Miss Withers.
I think I'll give you a hand. Excuse me.
Yeah, well, yes, what?
They're nice pigs.
Oh, yes.
Yes. They're not very chatty, are they?
Perhaps they didn't like to interrupt.
Oh, I never mind being interrupted.
Oh, that reminds me,
I
Violet.
haven't finished, Herbert. We have no children, of course.
Of course.
We breed spaniels.
Oh, do you? Yes. How interesting. Had I known, I would have asked the butcher to take the bone out of the sirloin.
Brisket.
Sirloin.
Now, Matthews, about this promotion.
Promotion. Brisket. Definitely brisket. Yes. Would you go through to the lounge? I'll see about the coffee. Quick. Where's the coffee? Martin, what are you doing?
Eating. I was starving, but I couldn't eat a thing in there.
Yes, I know the feeling. Now, where's the coffee?
I'm just making it, Dad.
Well, I get the coffee cups. No, what am I talking about? We haven't got any coffee
They're
cups.
over there. Mrs. Simpkins put everything ready.
Oh, what a wonderful woman.
Yeah, she's better than that old.
What have you got there?
Coffee beans. Can I get to the grinder?
No, don't bother with the grinder. Make instant.
Oh, no, Dad. That could lose you your promotion.
I lost the promotion on the sirloin. What's this?
The thermos flask.
Yes, I know what it is, but what does it contain?
Well, if it's gravy, I'll have some.
Ah, it's coffee. It is real coffee.
Mrs. Simpkins must have made it.
Oh, how can we reward that dear lady?
I know. Let's buy her the biggest bunch of flowers money can buy.
What a wonderful... what money?
I enjoyed my dinner. Did you enjoy your dinner, Violet?
Not now, Herbert.
You doing your handwriting thing again, dear?
Handwriting thing.
Sorry.
The study of handwriting is an art.
Yes, dear.
This scrap of paper no doubt belongs to somebody in this household. The handwriting is very revealing.
Yes, dear.
I saw that, Herbert.
I'm very sorry to keep you waiting.
We were grinding the beans. I hope you like ground coffee, Mr. Withers.
Oh, I think I do. Shall I ask Violet?
I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No, never let anyone boss you around.
That's very good advice. Very good indeed. Never let anyone boss you around.
Come on, Dad. Give Mrs. Withers her coffee.
Yes, dear. There you are, Mrs. Withers. Coffee.
Look at that tea.
No, it's coffee, but if you want tea, I'll get it for you.
This is most interesting
Really?
and very revealing. Look at this.
Ah, yes. Carrots, tomatoes, yes.
You know what this is, don't you?
Yes. It's a shopping list.
You didn't write it. I know your A's and E's.
You're quite right, I didn't write it.
Then who did? Was it Michael or Sonia?
No, it wasn't Martin or Shirley either.
Then who did?
A very good friend of ours, Mrs. Simpkin.
No.
Oh, yes.
There's no friendship in this hand. Do you know what this writing says to me? It says I'm bossy, I'm domineering, I'm aggressive.
Yes, and I agree. But what you're not, if you don't mind me saying so, is you're not generous and something else, thoughtful.
Herbert.
Not now, Violet.
Well done, Herbert. Stand up for yourself. Don't be pushed around. Be a man. Have another potato if you want one.
Do you realize what you're doing?
I know, but I've already done it. I've lost my promotion.
Oh, no, you haven't.
There you are. You will contradict everybody. Why?
I tell you, you haven't.
I haven't lost my promotion. What was that, Mrs. Withers?
I like you.
Do you?
So do I.
I didn't at first. I thought you were feeble.
Me, people?
But you stood up to me, you see.
And very few people do that.
I wonder why.
And that's why you got the job?
You were great, Dad.
Quite right, Shirley.
Sylvia.
Now that is definite. Definite, Violet. Now say yes.
Yes, Herbert.
Well, let's all have a drink on it, shall we?
Drink.
Quiet, Violet.
Mind yourself, Dad.
My word, where did this come from?
Well, we got it this morning.
What a wonderful idea.
We never doubted you, Dad.
We never do.
Wait.
When Harry cleans out the loft tomorrow at 1, he finds a very dirty painting. Don't miss it. And don't miss Watching, coming up next on Plus. And on Breeze, in just a moment, you'll find Lifetime.